I'm Gus Suckup, and I was a freshman 50 years ago, this coming September. In that fall of 1971, I came to Davidson College from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I stayed in this dorm, Centel dorm, on the first floor in room 110. And it was exciting to be here as a college freshman that September, and being dropped off by my parents. And it was exciting to be here, taking classes, meeting new friends. But I also learned that fall something about this place, about this college, that I would not have learned had something not happened that affected my life in a profound way. One Friday, my roommate and I had made plans to go up to Duke University for a concert. We were going to go see the band Traffic, and we were going to hitchhike from Davidson to Fayetteville, where my roommate lived, and then head up, spend the night, and then head up for Saturday's concert that night. Well, that afternoon of October the 15th, my father is in Pittsburgh, and my mother and my father were they were going to go up to Penn State to see a football game and spend the night and then go to the game on Saturday. But that afternoon, when they were en route up to Penn State, my dad had a heart attack and died. And the dean of students here at the time, Will Terry, he followed me. He knew where I was. He tried to catch up with me. And he called around. He finally found where I was through the help of my hall counselor. And so found out that my dad had died, and made arrangements to go to Pittsburgh, and was there for about a week, and then came on back. And it was a catch-up time, and it was a catch-up time with new subjects and trying to find my way out of the grief and out of the sense of just being overwhelmed. Nonetheless, about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I got a call on the hall phone, one of those old-time phone booths that was at the end of the hall. And a woman from Chambers building said to me, Gus, my name is Louise Martin, and I'm over here in Chambers, and we understand that your dad died earlier this fall, and we express our sympathy to you. And here I am, an 18-year-old, and I'm all embarrassed all of a sudden because this woman is playing with my emotions in a very positive way. And I said, yes, thank you very much. And then she said, are you going home for Thanksgiving? Because we understand you were just home for your dad's funeral, and you might not be going home. I said, no, I'm going home. And I'd made arrangements to go home. And she said, because if you were not going to go home, we would like to make arrangements for you to be with a family here in Davidson to have Thanksgiving with them. And I said, well, thank you very much, but I will be going home. So I hung up and pondered that conversation for the next 2 weeks. And Thanksgiving time comes, I head on home, and I'm home, and we ended up having Thanksgiving dinner at my uncle's, and it was somewhat bittersweet. But so the next day, my mother and I were in our living room, and there's a fire going on, and my mother said, well, how was it when you got back after the funeral? And I said, well, I had to play catch up, and I missed a whole week of school, and so I was able to make arrangements to get some notes and get caught up. And I said, oh, and by the way, something interesting happened. I'm in my room one night, and the phone rings, and this lady calls me from Chambers, the main building, and she said, are you going home? And I explained to Mother what Mrs. Martin said, and how nice that was. And So I'm looking at the fireplace, and all of a sudden I turned and looked at my mom, and tears were streaming down her face. And she was so grateful for the way in which the college had looked out for me, had thought about me, had really cared that I had suffered this loss earlier in the fall. And I just remember sitting there, my mother being so grateful that this college was not unaware of what it meant to lose a parent, and how they tried to be there for me, especially at a time like Thanksgiving. So that was my first experience that made me realize here at Davidson that you're more than a number, and that you were a part of this community, and they really wanted you to know that they cared, that you were here as a member of the student body. So, for which I was grateful. So that's my Davidson story. Everyone has one, and that's mine. And as they say, I'm sticking with it.